Hello, I'm Lineke Lijn, and in this tutorial we are going to draw a Dutch windmill. It's really Dutch and it's great fun to do. I will be drawing in ink and in real time, one-on-one, so you can watch with me. I wish you all the luck and all the fun with it. In this tutorial we are going to draw a Dutch windmill, and this is the one we are going to do. And it's very Dutch indeed, and I've chosen to make this drawing for you in ink. So I'm using a fine liner, and then for a little bit of shadow I will use a graphite pencil, just a simple graphite pencil. And well, there are so many mills and so many kinds of mills here in the Netherlands. They're very beautiful, and we have 3,000 low-lying leveled pastures, and we are using the windmills to keep the water on a secure level. As I was saying, I'm using a fine liner for this drawing. When you want to draw a windmill, the best way to start is by drawing first the wings of the mill itself. In this case, we are standing kind of below the windmill. So we are looking up to it. So here I'm deciding how those wings are holding themselves. And there are very long poles on this windmill. And they have a kind of thickness. So I'm drawing that in. And they come out of the middle part, and there are steady flaps on them. So I'm just drawing those in, and well, the wings of the mill are very kind of loose. They can rotate in every angle, and they are catching the wind, so they cannot be very sturdy, for then they would break off. So here with my fine liner I'm drawing in each and every section of those wings. I try to keep the texture as open as possible. And by drawing directly with the fine liner, I have to make sure that every stroke counts. When I make a mistake, I cannot erase it anymore. So I'm carefully thinking over each stroke that I'm placing in. Here I'm drawing in the little woods that are on the wings, each separately. I also am dealing with a little bit of perspective here. Each wing can move around a little bit separately, and I'm repeating here for the second wing. Each and every little piece of wood that comes out of the top wing. Here you can see that also. the wing is rotating a little bit. And I'm drawing that in with that same open structure. Here for the bottom wing, you can really see a lot of perspective going on. The flap is rotating, and I repeat the same lines for the little woods that come out of the wing. Also by rendering, I place in the darker areas, of course. And you can see the thickness of the middle part that keeps my wings together. Then it's time for the roof of my windmill. And what is very good to know is that top of our mill can be placed into the wind. So the top of our mill can be placed in any angle that the miller wants the wings to be. He will place the wings always directly into the wind. Here I'm drawing in the actual house of the mill, if you want, the body part. And what is very typical, what is very typical about mills is that they have more entrances mostly. And once you have that mill going on your drawing, you can already start to get in a little bit of its surrounding. In the Netherlands we have 3,000 polders, and a polder is a very low-lying leveled pasture, if you want. Hello, go away. And those pastures are beneath the sea level. So as I'm drawing in this mill, I will gradually draw and build the drawing out. And here you can see the second entrance of our mill. The rooftop often is made out of reed. Go away! Oh, my cat is always bothering me. But as I was saying, the roof often is built out of reed, and we have a lot of reed that grows out of the water, and we use that for roofing our mills. Now these are the long poles that are attached to the rooftop of the mill, and the miller can change the direction of the way the wings are placed. Our windmills often are round, and to give it that rounded feel, I render in here the lines also a little bit rounded. For the distance, I'm drawing in just some smear lines, very as little as possible. And I very carefully draw in some of that reed. And this windmill is standing next to the water. And here you can see a little bit of lines can suggest that there's water, and for the background there are the meadows, the pastures. And so I just go around and carefully draw in more and more detail, but just with as less lines as possible. Here my horizon goes on further, and well, a lot of the surrounding I simply make up. I just draw in a little bit from all the pictures that I've studied, and I just make it up. So once I get to the surrounding, all I need to get is the flatness of our horizon, which is very flat in the Netherlands. And I'm drawing in a little house in the background, and here is the side of the water, so maybe I can place in some poles to protect the miller from falling into the water. And in the front you can use a little bit more pressure on your pencil, on your pen I should say. But I do try to hold the pen as lightly as possible into my hand. I do not apply too much pressure on the point of my pen. This is the bench of the little stream, and we have a lot of reed. That's the grass that is growing out of the water. So I really want that to be a part of my drawing. And here I'm placing in the dark shadow to make sure that this is the edge of what is land and what is water. And I also love to draw in some clouds. We have very typical clouds in the Netherlands. It's well known from our Dutch old masters like Rembrandt or whatever you want, and draw in some birds. We have a lot of those in the Netherlands. Then I simply draw in a little bit more dark shadows, and the hard shadows I place in the last. I really love to render with the ink. It's very nice to do, and you can make up a lot of things. Just make it up, just try it out. And as I was saying, you cannot erase anything once you've put it in. So if you make a mistake, just draw around it and then try to correct it by drawing in the rest. But it also is a nice way of drawing. I almost forgot, those wings can have sails, and when there is a lot of wind, they put those sails away. And then they string them up around the wings of this mill, And when there is less wind, they flap them out, and then they put that over the little woods that we've drawn in. So, very nice detail, very important. Now it's time for the graphite. And well, it's optional. You can choose not to use the graphite, but of course you can always choose to draw in some extra gray and to give your drawing a little bit more dimension. And you can even choose to pick some colors, but for this tutorial I will keep it very simple, very Rembrandtian, and simply use black, white and grays. It's nice to use for the trees in the distance, little pieces for the pastures, and here on the body of the mill, the actual house of the mill, you can use it to give it that nice rounded feel. But I do make sure not to use too much gray. I want to keep my drawing as open as possible. Here I can use a little bit more shadow. So nice to do. It's also nice to darken the sky, the parts that are cloudless. And once you're doing that, the whiteness of the clouds that are very low pops out even better. I hardly apply any pressure on the graphite pencil, just a little bit, to make it pop out, to make the mill pop out more in front, to get that sunny feel. It's just nice to do, also in color. But as I was saying, I will keep this one really, really Dutch, really black and white. Well, just some more detail here. Make the poles stand out. This is the heart of the wings. I think I'll quit it here. It's good enough for me. I hope you will try this one. It's very nice to do. And of course, I also hope to see you again in one of my other tutorials. Take care. See you next time. Bye bye.